All right, June 2025 self-improvement update. Uh, Starting off with fitness. Not really all that much progress made in the gym. Just again, not really that consistent due to a variety of factors, which I guess we'll get into shortly. Diet-wise, um, yeah, so I've been fasting at work, and that's been pretty good. I just like stay hydrated, and I feel good throughout the day. So that's been a cool find. Um, Sleep habits. Sleep habits and gym kind of like coincide. So I've been having a hard time sleeping due to the stress from trying to find a new apartment and a new job, especially during the month of June. So that was not great. That's why I stagnated in both gym and the sleep habit areas. I think kind of coinciding with that, I had some more like ear infection issues that were giving me trouble, which affected both of those because I couldn't sleep, and then uh, I couldn't really go to the gym with an ear infection. So yeah, that sucked. But anyway, I have been hitting the gym like at least twice a week. I'm trying to get back up to like 4 times a week, but I mean, I feel like that's enough to make do. Like it keeps me like in the kind of like into it, instead of just like completely dropping it. So I do need to get back up to the 4 times a week, but that's going to be once I get moved over to the new apartment and then start another job, which I guess we'll get into that later. Uh, let's see. Oh yeah, so I set my alarm to 9 o'clock now to stop and get ready for bed, and yeah, that's I think that's helped some with getting to bed earlier instead of 9:30. Only a 30-minute difference, but it's a start, I would say. So I deleted the YouTube app from my phone to reduce screen time before bed. I ended up reinstalling it. Like it's one of those things where I don't know. It's like baby steps to the right direction, I guess. I had to delete it, really. Anyway, moving on to music stuff. I'd say it was a pretty good month for writing, actually. So yeah, that first song for the album, like I had this moment where I was like, why am I trying to add this section? Like I'm trying to add this section because I like the riff and I want to repeat it again, but it's like I don't have to do that. I think the song just calls for it to happen the amount of times that I already did, and I don't have to add another section so that I can then repeat the cool riff. So I was like, you know what, screw that. It's just going to be the original version that I wrote like a year ago instead of just trying to shoehorn a bunch of stuff in there. Because I think the song, like as it is, works, and it fits the original message better if I use the original arrangement. So yeah, there's that. I've been making progress in the lyrics for song two. That's been like my big thing this past month is lyric writing for song two. Um, I don't know if I mentioned this last time, but I replaced bridge two, or I removed. There was like a third bridge I had in it that was just like not really doing anything. It like stopped the momentum, so I removed it. I think I mentioned that last month though, because that was a little while ago. I want to say I did that like around the end of May. Anyway, yeah, I'm like slowly making progress on the album stuff. And I guess spoiler for July, I released the single on July 4th, and that was good. I probably could have like prepped a bunch of content for the release, but like things got kind of hectic as we will discuss later on. Uh, anyway, song one rework has been completed for my band, so that's been good. We're talking about song two, revisiting it for our next band practice, and then yeah, song three we haven't touched since then. Um, yeah, so I'm finally getting back to songs that I should have finished a while ago, and it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I feel like I'm behind on this, but I should have just been working on it. So it's good. It's good to finally be working on it again, working what I should have been working on, instead of procrastinating. So going along with that, I have been writing riffs and leads more consistently, which that's kind of been a double-edged sword because I kind of keep procrastinating by starting other songs. Like I have a bunch of skeletons written for new songs for which will probably be on like album two. Um, I don't I don't know because like the thing is you got to strike while the iron's hot, right? So I feel the inspiration, then I'm like, yo, I've got like there are some days where I just sit down and I'm like, boom, four riffs that don't work with anything that I'm working on right now. It's like a whole separate idea, and I'm like, yo, this is cool. I'm saving this for later. So I have a whole bunch of different files of like riff collections that can work for future songs. So I guess that's good that I'm able to just get the ideas out, and I guess I'll revisit them whenever I finish writing the album material. Um, oh, I guess like another notable thing about writing is I started a batch of riffs where is it just one batch? Yeah, I think it's just one. Anyway, where I just ignore music theory entirely and just play. That's been something that I've been wanting to get to. Just because like a lot of what I do now is I'm trying to capture the sound of an existing scale, and I just wanted to try something different. Just ignoring theory and just going for it, because that's what a lot of looking at a lot of music that I like. It's not in like in a particular scale, and there's like a bunch of key changes. So thought I'd give that a shot. So that's been pretty fun actually. That's been a really fun batch of riffs that I'm working on. Let's see. Yeah, and I'd say the big progress this past month is being more consistent with lyric writing. Like I've made a lot of progress on song two. I kind of wish that I had worked more on it because like the thing is, I don't want to say that like I'm not inspired by it, but I'm not as inspired by the concepts that I have for like some of the songs for the next album. Like when I first wrote everything, I was like, oh hell yeah, let's go. And I wrote like just some quick rough drafts of lyrics, but then now it's like, okay, this is kind of I've been sitting on the ideas for a while, so it's like not as exciting, but I think I don't know, because at the same time I'm also like a little bit more clear minded about it because I've been able to sit with it and distill the meaning into like more. It's gotten more focused. So there's like give and take with that, I guess. I'm probably just overthinking it, really. But I've been really consistent with my lyric writing, so that's been good. Guitar wise, so yeah, I started off with. Did I do that? No, that's not even. What the heck is this? Anyway, I was doing like a bunch of just like chord stuff, I guess. Shell voicings, really, for whatever I was working on. And at the end of the month, I started looking more into drop two chord voicings because, well, I wrote a riff and then I realized that in the riff I actually use a drop two minor seven. So I was like, oh hey, um, maybe I should just like learn more about this because actually I like this voicing. It was a root position drop two on the A string. But anyway, I'm trying to just get more acquainted so I can just like play chords that just like shell voicings are cool. I think they work well with distortion, but when I'm playing clean, I kind of want to have some more variety than just shell voicings because those can get a little boring if that's all you play. So I'm working on adding those into my vocabulary. Improv wise, I've been practicing over backing tracks pretty consistently. This past month was Spain by Chick Corea. That one's really fun. Um, I admittedly don't think I did all that great with it. I kind of, because it's faster and I can't really improvise that fast, I like play more melodies over it, which is cool, but it's like not the same thing as, I don't think it's the same thing as like what I it wasn't the best way to practice it necessarily. So there's that. Um, yeah, not much to add there. Technique wise, so I've been doing some alternate picking, triplet eighth notes. I just like wrote some leads. Well, the lead that I wrote to practice alternate picking is triplet eighth notes, and then I wrote a riff that's just straight eighth notes. I haven't practiced the riff that much. I've been practicing the lead a lot though. Start of the month, I went from 120 BPM, and at the end of the month, I ended at 152. So I am making progress. And at one point, I had to reset because I started listening to how it sounded, and it was like I was hitting the notes technically, but my muting wasn't great, and it wasn't like it could sound better. So I was like, yeah, I gotta start over again. So I recently started over, and I'm kind of like back to like the 152, 160 area. So um, that's been pretty good progress in the past week, even. So yeah, technique wise, I'm getting to where I want to be, slowly but surely. Focus practice, again, working on my own materials, getting it up to tempo, some of the harder stuff, and then the solos that I'm learning in general. Yeah, that one's been a little tough, but yeah. So ear training, I transcribed some like more just random stuff, like there's a whole bunch of just random stuff that I hear, like what's that song from Pirates of the Caribbean? Hoist the Colors, that one, and then the vocal melody from Bring Me to Life. Is it Bring Me to Life? The Evanescence song. Um, yeah, just like things like that I've been transcribing. So it's been good to. I'm like slowly but surely feeling more connected with my ear. And really, this past month, I would say my big progress goal for just non-writing related is like I'm like listening better. So that's helping a lot. And then yeah, vocals are like a back burner thing now. So I'm not really going to talk about that. Okay. I already kind of mentioned all this stuff earlier. Uh, Areas to improve. I'm going to keep up the momentum with lyric writing. That's a big thing. Because lyric writing is, for now, with my current situation, I still got time to like lyric write every day. A lot of time to lyric write every day. Um, and then I just got to keep writing riffs. I average one a day, but I don't write one every day. Like there are some days where I write like six, there are some days where I write none. So it just kind of, and like everywhere in between. So getting one a day, I think, would be good. But at the same time, like sometimes the one that I write is just crap, but then sometimes I write like four good ones. So it's just a matter of doing it to get the ideas out, type of deal. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue reviewing drop two chords. Um, Maybe I should do on the G string because I need to like learn more higher voicings. Like I keep playing stuff that's like on the low strings and it sounds kind of muddy. Um, it just sounds better. Like in the solo that my teacher assigned me, it's a Kurt Rosenwinkel solo over Lazy Bird. He uses some drop two stuff like higher up in like the chord solo section. Well, it's like drop twos and just triads and then a bunch of like really weird shit. So yeah, but that's been cool to see like in practice. Uh, but yeah, I like how some of that stuff sounds higher because like chord solo is starting to interest me more, especially because like Heritage is a three piece, so I think a three piece would lend itself well to chord soloing. So I do need to. I should record my improv recordings. Record my improv recordings. Record my improv sessions. But anyway, so instead of doing improv over Lazy Bird, I've just been doing 2-5-1s because like I need to listen more, and I think because like honestly, the Lazy Bird harmony also confuses the hell out of me because like the 2-5s don't it doesn't go the way that I expect it to because like I'm expecting 2-5-1s and it's like 2-5 up into like another 2-5, and I'm like, that's not okay. There's a key change all of a sudden, and I mean, of course, the way to get better at it is to practice it, but I think I need to just, I don't fully grasp the 2-5-1 yet. Like, I can't solo well over a 2-5-1. I can, like, solo all right, but it's not, like, good. So, I need to practice improvising, really. That's what it boils down to. I'm going to continue with alternate picking technique stuff, because, yeah, I gotta get that right hand dialed in. Just gonna keep working on some of the riffs and leads that I've written that are harder. Transcribing stuff. Yeah, so for ear training, I'm just gonna start listening closer to what I'm playing, which I've been doing the past week or so. Um, I should, yeah, I mean I should have been doing that, but I'm like I actually like get it now, if that makes sense. So, yep, we're gonna be doing that, and then yeah, vocals are a back burner thing. Okay, on to general self-improvement stuff. This is kind of going to just be like a general life section. So, I guess the main progress was that I'm on Chapter 2, Section 5 of The Hero with a Thousand Faces. That's been a pretty good read. The problem, I would say, like, because that's basically like the only progress I made this past month. Like I mentioned before, my job situation's a little sketchy right now. Just with adding new people, we're gonna have to share hours, so I'm going to be losing most of my hours pretty soon, so I've been looking for another job, and a buddy of mine is a shift lead at a spot, and he was like, hey, we need some people right now, and I just applied the other day, and I think today he gave the manager my resume, so I'm hoping to hear back from them soon, because I'd be pretty sick. And then also apartment stuff, like it was once I found out I was losing most of my hours, I was like, oh crap, I can't really like afford an apartment. But that stuff's all kind of falling into place right now. Um, got a potential roommate, and we've been looking at some places, and hopefully we'll figure something out this week. Uh, but yeah, that's been a pretty hectic June right there. It was the what I think last day of June when I had a guitar lesson, and then I found I was losing my hours, and then I was trying to like scrambling, and my parents offered me to like stay with them, and then that guy who wants to room with me now, he reached out to me, and I was like everything just like went to hell, and then it kind of all started to come back into place. So still making progress on getting all that stuff under control so I can actually like focus better, because I think that the stress from the apartment slash job area, that's like bled into everything else and overshadowed everything else, because like my screen time went up quite a bit this past month, just because like I've been watching YouTube to cope with like the stress of everything. So that's been bad, but I think I'm actually able to like take a step back and realize, oh, that's the reason why I'm like watching YouTube and all that stuff. So yeah, crazy month. July is a month of getting things back under control. So again, I'm just aiming to consistently do habits, even if it's just a little bit. For example, like weightlifting. Just do like twice a week is better than 0 times a week. Something I started doing was setting a timer for 30 minutes while I was lyric writing, and that did help. Where I could just like lock in for 30 minutes, and then once the time was up, like I could do whatever. But like it's one of those things where once you start doing something, it's kind of easier to just keep doing that. So sometimes I would just like keep writing instead of just stopping. Um, I've been hit or miss with journaling and visualizations. Um, I don't really have like a solution to like getting back in the groove for those at the moment. I think visualizations I need to start doing again in the morning when I wake up, which I actually did set my timer early, so that like this morning I actually woke up early and did my visualization, so that was good. Did my whole mindfulness practice, so I think it's just a matter of getting up early, and that will kind of help me. If I start the day right, then like the rest of the day goes right. It's just starting things out on the right foot. So yeah, that about wraps up my June 2025 review. Very, very hectic month, but I think at the start of this month we are getting things back under control. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing what July holds. And yeah, that's all I got. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next month.